bream on this little float setup. Well, I've been fishing for a while. I've got a couple of bites, but been really hard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just try something else. What I've done is I've been throwing small amounts of burley directly in front of me. I have been using burley cages on my rods as I've been casting in, but what's happened, I've only got small bites there. So what I'm going to try here is I've been throwing in some by hand in relatively close. I have attracted some fish. I'm hoping that some bigger fish will be on the outside of those small fish that I can see. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a float, because I've got a feeling that some of these fish are not on the bottom, that because of the barometric pressure, they're actually higher in the water. What I want to do is be able to set my bait higher in the water so I can potentially hook up some of those fish. Now, the setup that I had originally was the burley cage, a running burley cage, okay, down to a line clip, through to a small hook, and the hook was tied on with some fluorocarbon lightweight trace. Now the thing is, this wasn't working properly, so what I've done is I've just simply taken that off, taken the burley cage off, okay, and the only weight that I'm using now is just the combination of these two items here, which is the little swivel link and the line clip. And then what I've done is I've been putting on a little piece of foam. Now, the way that you attach this float is very simple. Take the line, put a loop in it where you want to place your float, then just wrap the line around itself so that you create a loop that this can fit into. Okay, pull that tight, and then what I do is just tie one more knot around that, like that, and that will stay in place. Now the great thing is, once you've done that, okay, you can just loosen that and move that up and down the line as you need to create more distance. So I was fishing with about 3 meters or 2.5 meters between my float and my hook, the bait. That was just floating downstream at the same pace as the water. It was actually above the bottom because the fish were slightly higher in the water. So it was moving as naturally as any other piece of food or debris in the water. So what you've got is that, and then when you want to undo it, you just simply loosen this, and this will come off. So you don't have to cut your line, you don't have to tie it on separately, it can be done at any time. And so I can then go back from doing that, go back then to putting on another burley cage if I want to change back. I've got a lightweight trace that's got fluorocarbon in it, so it should be almost invisible in the water. So we'll see how we go with this. And I'm just casting it out just into there's some rocks going down here. Just beyond the rocks, I've seen at least one trevally come through chasing some of the fish. So I could catch that, but I'm just happy to catch any fish at all. Oops. So what I've done is put my float out there and then got my burley here, and I just throw that over the top to encourage the fish out there. It's going under. Oh yeah. So, well, they're certainly biting at it. They've taken the bait already. So I'm clearly getting bites. It's just a matter of getting the right ones. The ones with a fish attached. So I'll rebait. Just go through the process all the time. Cast that out there. Okay, it's just on the edge. Throw a bit of burley out right at the top. Unfortunately, the tide is moving out. It's not the best time of day to be fishing, but it was the only time I had. There it goes under. Oh goodness. Okay, so this is not the size of fish that I was after. Well, there you go. Let's improve on that, shall we? Just a little bit further out and repeat the process. The great thing about a float is that it takes your bait through the water at the same speed as the flow of the river, so it looks completely natural to the fish. Here we go. Well, it's a little bit bigger. Hoping something a lot bigger than this. So finally managed to land a slightly better brim on this little float setup. So sometimes, you know, just to have a little bit of fun, you change things around. But remember, burley's so important. I got the burley in there, attracted the fish, and then had a bit of fun watching the float go under. And this one goes back. Thank you very much.